Sorry about that.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our show, recently retitled Tips from the Top.
Woo! I like that title because we have so much to give. We have so much knowledge to impart, and people need to learn from us.
It's true, we're at the top, and what else is there for us to do than give tips? We've done it all. We've done it all.
Yeah, and you can also learn from a lot of my mistakes. I think that's the qualification for being a genius. If you can learn from your own mistakes, you're smart. If you can learn from other people's mistakes, you're a genius. And if you don't learn from your mistakes, you probably have to stop drinking. So those are my three caveats.
Those are 3 tips already at the top
Yeah.
of the show. Thank you so much for those. I haven't spoken to you for a while. How's it going? How are you? Have you had a good week?
I've had a busy week. I went back to Ireland and I had to move all my stuff in my house, and came back and I'm in Cornwall now on a holiday. Romantic holiday.
Having a staycation.
Yeah.
Siobhan Dodd, hello's watching the show. Our guest from last week. That's actually a great way to get the audience in. We get the guests to become audience. Well done. Thanks, Siobhan, for tuning in. Nice to see you. And anyone else tuning in, say hi. Tell us where you're watching from. And do ask us any questions during the show. Feel free to interact with us. And if you're feeling kind, please feel free to donate as well. What was the best part of your week, Aideen?
The best part of my week was moving all this stuff. And I found this weird foreign money in my cupboard. And I was like, what the fuck is this? So I was going to throw it out. I was like, it must be Thai money that my sister had. And then I checked it out. And it was 50 euros worth of Swiss francs that I forgot I had when I gigged in Switzerland ages ago. And I was like, yeah, nice. I needed that. You know,
you threw away the money, the cash.
I didn't throw it away. I was about to throw it away. I was just about to kind of think, oh, that's nothing. I thought it was like a Zimbabwean dollar or some 500 million or no, something from. And so Swiss francs are valuable. Yeah. So I found it's like an extra 50 that I forgot about. It was good.
Oh, so yeah, that's the best part of your week, that you didn't get rid of them. Brilliant. You're rich.
Slightly richer than I thought I would be. Like, you know, it was just one of those unexpected things. And I was glad that I didn't throw away what I thought was paper Thai money. You know,
my best part of my week is money related too. I won £7 on the Euro Millions.
Yay, that's good. I'm glad you said that, because I thought I sounded like so shallow that my best part of my week was finding money. And part of the joy of being disorganized is you will surprise yourself with hidden stashes of money in various pockets, tights, and often my bra. I could have 50 in there sometimes. You know?
Yeah, it's kind of like a gift from your past self. It's like, oh, thank you, drunk self. Like, you've kept £5 in a sock and a little bit of weed there for a rainy day. It's like the only way that I could hold on to things, but by losing them and then refinding them again.
The best thing is if you go out and you wake up the next day and you actually have more money than what you left with. You're like, what did I do?
What was the worst part of your week this week?
The worst part of my week was, it's a bit of a long story, but my sister went on a date with this guy a few times, and he was very forward sexually. So she went back to this kind of granny flat annex that he built in his mother's house, right? So already red flag. And in this annex that he built in his mother's house in like Cabra, which would be like the Slough of Ireland, right? He then had this sex dungeon, right, that he built himself. So he built all these like steeples and things to kneel on, and like kind of like stocks. And my sister was like, I don't know if we're ready for this, you know? And he was like, look, that's what I'm into. So she was with him twice. And then she texted and she was like, I don't think we're sexually compatible. Hi, Colin.
Hi, Colin.
Then she said, we could be friends. Would you like to go and play tennis? So he said yes. And he asked her then if she was seeing anyone else. And they were playing tennis away. And she said, yeah, I just went on a date with this Brazilian guy yesterday because we're friends now. We can talk about this. And he absolutely threw the tennis racket at her head. And she had a mild concussion. And she thought she was fine. But then a few hours later, she had this massive headache. So she rang me and we were in the hospital for 6 hours because it wasn't that serious.
Oh my
And
God.
he's totally fine now. And
I know, but it's quite serious because it sounds like he's into like, you know, because you think, oh, like, so he's into kind of like that kind of stuff in the bedroom and outside the bedroom, it seems.
Yeah. And she was kind of going along with it because she's like, well, his mother is French, you know, that must be normal. But so she was really shocked. He didn't help her or anything. And yeah, it was a bit weird. The poor girl, like, you know, it's just Tinder. It's so random who you'll meet.
It is. Yeah. You never know.
I know. And then we were in the hospital, and I said to her, look, go on Tinder. We've been waiting so long. You could meet somebody, go to his house near the hospital and come back and you'll still be in the queue. I'll stay for you. And I thought that was very funny. But then I noticed my ex-boss was there because she had a mask on I didn't see. So she just looked at me like, you asshole. Like I could see she was just like not impressed by our chat. We were really talking openly about guys and just really delirious with tiredness. And she brought her daughter in for some kind of a really noble, you know, sports accident. So I don't think I'll be working in that school anymore. But anyway, there you go. It's kind of funny now.
Ask me what the worst part of my week was.
Yeah, what is the worst part of your week, Charlie? I'm so involved.
Thank you.
Tinder survives.
My worst part of my week was I felt a bit rejected this week. I don't know. I'm feeling my feelings definitely very much this week. Partly probably because of the full moon and starting my period. But I was on a WhatsApp group with people from my counselling course I did, and I suggested that we all meet up. I'm clearly very lonely. I was like, we should all meet up and do the skills practice thing we used to do before. And I got one person say, yeah, maybe we could meet up, but I don't really want to. And then one person who I thought I was close with just responded by just leaving the group. And I feel like in lockdown, I've had quite a lot of time just to take things quite seriously. So I was dealing with a feeling of rejection, and I need to deal with the whole idea of like still putting stuff out there, but like I'm not letting like people just saying no reject me, because I'm quite good at that. It stops me like applying for more things or like organizing more things. They're always going to get people that just like, I don't know, like just don't get involved for whatever reason.
Yeah, and they're kind of where they're at, or somebody in a WhatsApp group could have thrown a tennis racket at them once or something, and they're really wary about meeting them. But yeah, it's usually about them, not about you. But I would hate that. That would make my stomach churn. Like if somebody takes a WhatsApp group, I feel so rejected. Even if it's my old boss, like, you know. Oh my God.
I know. I need to find something to turn rejection into. That would be a good tip from the top. You take you know, it's like, don't get furious, get curious. Don't get rejected, get whatever.
Selected for another group. Obviously, these aren't your tribe.
Exactly, get selected. Yeah. You're one step closer to being selected.
Yeah. So
great tip.
These were probably dry shites anyway. You didn't even want to meet up with them.
No, I know. We've got a guest this week. How would you describe our guest, Aideen?
I met her on the stand-up comedy scene a few years ago. She's like an entertainer. She's an exotic dancer. I'm not sure how she describes herself, but I really want to know more about it. So, yeah, how would you describe her?
We have Carmen. I've asked her, comedian and burlesque performer. And I actually was lucky enough to join her on something she's involved with at the moment, Cybertease, which we're going to ask her more about. Let's welcome her to the show first. Welcome, Carmen Ali.
Hi.
Here she is. Hi. How's it going?
Yeah, good. I was listening to
the best part. Oh yeah.
That guy who the BDSM guy, he's giving BDSM a bad name, isn't he? Like,
yeah.
He is,
Also, I feel like when guys say they want to be friends with you, a lot of the time that's not what they mean. Especially if you've been on one date with them and they're like, oh, no, it's totally fine. We can totally be friends.
It's so true. What basis of friendship have you had? And it's just this, like, you know, what's a friendship going to be like? Come over to my house, we'll watch movies, and I'll show you pictures of boys on Facebook that I prefer than you. Like, it's cruel to themselves. Yeah, you're right. She shouldn't, like, you don't have that much in common with somebody that you wouldn't date them, but you'd be friends after one date.
Yeah, totally. Oh, Siobhan said hello. You too, Siobhan. I can't type in the chat, but yeah, I miss you and your Union Jack dress and your funny jokes about British Sign Language.
What was the best part of your week, Carmen?
So Cyber Teams is probably the best part of my week. So I'm co-organising a virtual strip club called Cyber Tees, and I perform under my burlesque name, April Fiasco. So it's basically, we have about 9 or 10 performers every time, and we set up our like Zoom in our house. We put on some sexy outfits and we dance. People can watch the show and they can also tip us to do various things that they want to see us do. So like last time on Wednesday, I did like £10, put cream pie on my face. And then I did £40 do a gunge pour. So we got in the bath and my boyfriend like poured gunge all over me. So that was really fun.
Did that actually happen, the gunge pour?
Yeah. At the end. Oh, you missed it. And like
audience, tell us if the sound is really crackly. It is on my end. I just want to hear if the audience can hear that. Otherwise, there's just like a constant crackling sound. Sorry about that.
Oh, it stopped.
Yeah, it stopped. What did you do then?
It
started again. You think? Because it did come on when you came in. If you go, see you later, Carmen. Thanks for being a guest. And then maybe just come back in and we can identify whether it is you.
So if I press leave studio or no?
It is you, yeah, because you're, If you can, and then maybe come back in when the mic's better. Yeah, there you go, just because it's, So, oh no, it's still there.
No. It's still there. Oh no. Oh no, it's gone.
Yeah, there you go. So it is her mic.
Hey, I turned my electric fan off.
Still there?
That sounds better now, doesn't it?
Yeah, much better.
Yeah, I'll just do something.
No, there is something.
Should I put my headphones in?
Sorry, I realise this isn't entertaining stuff.
Live
fun.
Everybody will get these technical difficulties sorted, and then we'll suddenly hear all about Cyber Tees. Okay, that seems to have done it.
Yeah, what did you do then? Bring it forward. Yeah. Aideen, if you have headphones, maybe put them in.
This cable's really fucked. So like when I think it's not letting me hear when I put the headphones on. Did test it the other day. I was like twiddling it and it was okay, but now it's just not doing anything.
So that was the best part of your week, Carmen. What was the worst?
So this morning I had to pop a cyst on my foot. So me and my boyfriend got in the bath and we jabbed it with a needle because basically it's a ganglion cyst. So the NHS were like, you can't go to A&E, but we can't do anything for you in the GP clinic. So you'll have to wait months to get it removed. But it was hurting me all the time and pressing on a nerve. So basically, we just got loads of salty water and then got a needle, sterilized it and put it in and kind of pushed the liquid jelly back out. Yeah. So
a ganglion cyst. What does ganglion mean?
That's just the name of the cyst. It's not a harmful cyst, but it happens on your wrists or your foot. A lot of people have them. It's just from I think it's from friction or something underneath the joints.
What would it be? You'd just be randomly get one like that?
Yeah, it just creates you have this synovial fluid, which is jelly from your tendons or cartilage or something that's just extra. It's not harmful. It's just annoying. If it clusters, and presses on a nerve, then you're trying to dance and be sexy for Cybertees, and you're like, ow, my foot.
I so enjoyed
do it. Yeah, sorry, go on.
I so enjoyed the show. So Cybertees, for those that don't know, as we've described, here comes Aideen upside down. So it's describe a little bit about Cybertees for the audience, Carmen.
Yeah, so it's a virtual strip club. It's basically what you would if you went into a strip club. We all do our own performance or our own spotlights, and then there were times where we're all dancing at the same time, and you can pin the screen of whichever person you want to see. We do topless, but we don't do fully nude.
Yeah, so which would be like mirroring what happens in the strip club.
Yeah, although we do in most strip clubs, you do have fully nude private dances.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
and is the people that I saw in that show? So there was a like collective of like all these different and it's unionized strippers. Would you guys be working to? Yeah.
So we're all in a stripper union. So there's a union for kind of like freelance 0-hour contract workers, that sort of thing. And there's a stripper subset of it, which any sex worker or stripper can join. They've called it United Strippers of the World, but actually any sex worker can join that union. And it kind of, they campaign for better working conditions within clubs.
Okay. And would you have worked with those girls before? So was it like a group would you have worked in the same club?
So the main organisers, we've worked at different events together and I've seen them at some meetings. So we worked at Brazilian Wax, which was a pop-up strip club, which was run as a collective. So it was kind of like a real life version of what we're doing now. And that was really good. So I met a couple of the other performers there, and then we have guest performers as well. And some of the guest performers I know from other clubs, and we've worked together on stuff. So that's really good. It's nice
the host was very good.
Yeah, so yeah, she was really good. She was
super good host,
and she works as a stripper for a bit as well. So she's super supportive of sex work.
One thing I found it really interesting what she said something like, she was like, we're sick of the glorification of the sex industry at the same time as the demonization of sex workers. Like, what does she mean by that?
Well, the fact that like a lot of people will use sex as a way to sell products or get people interested in something, like make a movie sexy or whatever. But then when you say that you're a sex worker, when you say that you work in a strip club or you do full service sex work or you're a dominatrix, people are like, oh, but when are you going to get a real job? Oh, why are you doing that to yourself? Like, not everyone, obviously, not everyone is judgmental, but there can be some stigma, especially like just even the fact that it's really hard to put sex work on your CV.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd say people would probably lie about it.
Work. Yeah, most like sex workers will put like model or promotions or dancer or you know, a similar sort of thing. But you have to kind of like sanitize it a bit for people to be accepting of it. But I did recently go for a job, which was it was like a finance admin job in an arts company, and I didn't get the job. I got the last two people, so I had like 2 interviews, got right to the end, and the other person was a bit more experienced. But I mentioned stripping like in my interview and in my CV because they wanted someone who'd already worked in a cooperative and understood what that meant. So I talked about working in a cooperative at Brazilian Wax and Cybertees, and they loved it. They were like super supportive and really interested in it. So like I think some people are obviously not as judgmental as others, and I think it is changing. And I also think it's really good to kind of like talk about sex work like it is a normal thing and not like it's a weird sexy thing in a way. Like, but I understand why some people can't be out in the way that I'm out.
Yeah. And what is the most annoying question you get as like if people find you're a stripper? What's the most kind of
People always assume that you make lots of money all the time, and they think that sex is really easy, but they don't realize that, for example, with stripping, you don't get paid to be there. You pay a house fee to the club to work there. So that's either a set amount or sometimes it's a percentage. Like luckily the club that I work at, sometimes it's a small set amount, but then anything else is up to you what you earn. So you only get paid for your dances or your tips you get on stage. But people don't tip in strip clubs like they do on American TV shows and strip clubs. You know what I mean? It's not like that.
So, I read a thing about the cashless society and cards and everything, that the 3 people who are most affected are beggars, buskers and strippers. Because you can't, unless you can wear, maybe physically you could have the card reader on your hips or something and people could tap that ass with the card.
Yeah,
but, yeah.
The thing is that they were going to open strip clubs actually along with bars and pubs, but apparently because so sex entertainment venues fall into the same kind of group as like a beauty salon that's not hairdresser, so they can't actually open yet, because like the thing is that you can't really give a lap dance if you're going to be 2 meters away, and if you're gonna have stage shows in a strip club, then you need to also bring back theatre and any sort of performing arts. So it's like, I think strip clubs really wanted to reopen to make the money, but actually they can't until every kind of performing arts venue can reopen, like anywhere where you're going to be in that close proximity to somebody and it be allowed. If that makes sense. But
you seem to be doing a good job with the virtual. Do you find the same? So you said some of the same customers that have been to the physical ones come to those.
Yeah, we will get some customers that we've actually met in our strip clubs and we know them, and then you'll get like loads of women tend to watch the show. We think a lot of couples and queer people watch the show. We like want it to be to everyone, not just like the classic white middle-aged strip club man that you think in a strip club. We want it to be really inclusive, and
it's really cool. And where can people go and watch? When's the next show?
So the next show is Wednesday the 15th of July. So we haven't put up the ticket link yet, that's probably going to be tomorrow or Tuesday. But if you go to the Cybertees Twitter or Instagram at @Cybertees_, then the ticket links will be up soon. But yeah, and we're DJ'd by Queer House Party, who are an amazing queer DJ collective, and you can also support them as well online. And we also got mentioned in the Huffington Post and Time Out magazine recently. We had 2 articles in them. So
awesome! And who
brilliant? That's great.
Not going anywhere. Yeah.
Who actually started it all?
I literally can't remember. It was just one of our stripper WhatsApp groups. Someone was like, "Why don't we set up an online strip club?" And then a few of us were like, "Yeah, that's a really good idea." And then they made an extra group, another WhatsApp group. We all just like joined, and it all just happened from there.
That's really cool. And I think I've never been to a strip club, but I have been to that virtual one. And I think as like a woman, like introverted in my bedroom, it was a really nice introduction to like, I mean, I'm sure it wasn't, I'm sure it's a lot nicer in some ways than the physical environment. I felt like really enjoyed the night.
I think it can be really intimidating for some people to walk into a strip club, especially if you're a woman and you know that there are not going to be many other women there as customers. So it is really nice to be at home and in that safe space and just be able to watch it. So and it takes away, like, obviously we do a bit of hustling in that we want people to tip for extra things. We make a lot of our money off the tips, but there's no hustling as in like going up to a group of guys and be like, "Hi guys, how was your night? Do you want to come dance?" Because like people don't realize the dancing is the easy bit. It's the like getting people to spend money that's actually the hard bit.
Wow,
It's
say so. Yeah. And what's your favorite part of being a stripper? Like, what really keeps you going?
It's really fun. Like, it's really fun to like really enjoy being sexy and enjoy owning your sexuality and being like, yeah, I'm gonna like tease these people whether I'm dancing on screen or whether I'm dancing in real life. I'm just gonna like, you know, go for it and really give them a tease and just have a laugh and have fun and be like within my body.
Is there a rule on how much you can drink?
I wish. I also do burlesque as well, so like not to conflate the two, because they are they are separate industries, although they are related, like stripping and burlesque history, you know, it's kind of tied together. And there are a lot of more.
So what would you say some people probably understand, but some people probably don't understand what the difference between burlesque and stripping is?
I'd say, so burlesque actually means to parody, but most burlesque acts will use striptease as a form of telling a story or a form of putting a point across or a form of entertainment, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So burlesque doesn't have to involve striptease, but most burlesque acts do involve some sort of striptease, whether that's comedy striptease or classic showgirl striptease or like a reverse striptease, or like, which is when you actually start off with like pasties and the thong and you put clothes on. So like there are lots of different ways that you can use striptease. It might just be to kind of like take layers off something. So like I do this act about where I'm from. Now people always ask me where I'm from because I'm like mixed race, half white, half Asian, but my mom's from Trinidad, so I'm racially ambiguous. So like I have this whole act where they say, where are you from? And I'm like, oh, take my jacket off, and I've got a Trinidad flag on my dress. And they're like, but where are you from? And I take that off. And I, like all the Asian countries that my grandparents are from, like stuck on me. And they're like, no, but where are you from? I take that off. And then I've got like the Union Jack flag, and I do a little Spice Girls routine. And they're like, no, but where are you from? And I take that off. And then at the end, I've just got like the earth, like the world on my nipples. Because I'm like from the same place, really. Like, stop asking me where I'm from. So like you can use striptease in a way that's not just sexy, it's also political and interesting and funny. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense. Yeah, that's really good.
Is used for kind of arousal and entertainment in that way.
Yeah.
Although stripping can be political, I do believe like Cybertease is very political. We're very passionate about strippers having rights, about being a feminist thing to do, like, because there are some feminists who don't agree with it, but they can fuck off basically. So
have you ever that noise is back. Here's a quiz question. Name 3 famous people that used to work as strippers.
Oh fuck, Amber Rose.
Oh shit, that is one of them. Yeah. That's not one that I've got here, but in my research I came across her.
I should know more people. I actually think Dita Von Teese was a strip club stripper as well.
Oh yeah.
And I'm really not doing well on this, am I? There's loads of like old time burlesque performers who also used to be strippers. I can't think of anyone. Go on.
Can you think of anyone, Aideen?
Let me see who would have been good. Probably loads of actresses that we don't know about. J-Lo.
Well, the woman who hosted our show from Skins, she's famous. So
which one?
Megan Prescott, who hosted our show.
We've got Cardi B. She talks about it a lot.
Yeah, Cardi B.
And Channing Tatum actually was a stripper, and Magic Mike is based on a real true story. I can't really believe that. But yeah, he actually worked as a stripper before.
Have you seen the live
Actually,
Magic?
No, I'd love to. Have you?
The boys from Boyzone, a few of those were strippers. Remember the boy
Lady
band
Gaga. No, I don't think so. Maybe Lady Gaga and Eve from the 90s was a stripper as well.
Oh, okay.
Those are for those that I have here. We're going to do a section of the show now called I Just Called to Say I Love You. Now, what we've done here is we've got phone numbers. We've each given each other a phone number to call and phone someone randomly on a Sunday night just to spread the love and to, I don't know whose number this is. This is a number given to me by Aideen. So I'm going to call and say, I love you. Just give me a second while I put this in. We never know if they're going to pick up. And let's give this a go. Spreading the love. Okay.
This is my person.
This is Aideen.
Hello?
Hi, I just wanted to call you just to say that I love you.
Oh, very nice. Thank you.
Thanks, yeah. How are you doing today?
Good, thanks.
Good. Good, yeah, that's all I really wanted to say, just that I really love you and that I hope your evening is kind of, you feel that love this evening.
Great, thanks so much.
All right then. Thanks a lot. Bye. Who was that?
That was a friend of mine from university, and I thought that he would ask you a lot more and be very interested, but he took that very casually, like it happens to him all the time.
I think the vibe that I went with was quite sort of professional. Like, hi, I can imagine myself being like, hi, I've just called to say I love you, and also, have you been in an accident in the last 7 days?
Yeah.
You know, like a really horrible sales technique.
You were so confident that I think that's why it worked.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, because my phone is so crackly, I won't be able to put it on loudspeaker. So I'm going to have to skip this bit. Yeah, because if I take out my loudspeaker thing, oh no, Actually, I will be able to do it. I'm going to call now.
All right, give it a go, and then we'll do Carmen's.
Yeah.
So this is a number that Carmen has given you. We don't know. You don't know who it is.
Oh no.
Can you hear?
Mm.
Hello there. My name is Aideen, and I just have something to tell you. Would you like to hear it? Not really. Well, don't worry about it. It's a lovely thing. I just want to say that human to human, I love you. I know we've never met, but I think you have a good vibe in this universe. You give off a good vibe. And even if we didn't meet, and even if you're a bad person, I would still love you on a human level. And how do you feel about that? I'm not off my head at all. I'm on my head. I'm on my head with love. Oh no, isn't that nice? Yeah. What's your name? I'll keep the vibe high. Okay, lovely to talk to you. Keep the vibe.
I don't.
Wow, he was surly, but then he got nice.
No.
I do.
I don't know.
Maybe you took the number down wrong there.
That wasn't my friend.
That wasn't your friend because it was a female. So that was just a random person.
Oh no.
He was quite
no.
He was quite what would you say, a bit sort of funny with you. No, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, but he was fair enough, but I think I melted his heart in the end. I think it did him good to hear that. Yeah,
you did
I
well.
did. Keep the vibes high. People love talking about vibes. It's the new thing, isn't it?
All
what
right.
does that mean?
So I have to do my one now.
Yeah.
Yes, Carmen. You're a woman, you can take your clothes off in front of a room, but can you tell a stranger that you love them? This is the real bravery.
I feel like I'm in Sherlock, like in the season finale. Someone needs to call Molly. Okay, that reference is lost on me.
Sorry.
Can you put it on loudspeaker?
Sorry, shit.
This is.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey. I just wanted to call you to tell you how much I love you.
Oh, fuck's sake. Oh, well done.
Well done for what? Being able to express my emotions so clearly.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your
Why
name?
set up an Irish number and now an English number? Are you on fucking crack or what?
Oh my god, I'm not on crack. I'm never on crack. What's your name?
What's my name?
Yeah.
You must know my name. If you know my number, you must know my name.
Your number came to me in a dream, and it told me that I should call you. But it didn't tell me your name.
Oh, well done. You better go back to your dream and find out.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.
Who was that?
Okay, I see what I did, guys. I see what I did. I called the person that Carmen was meant to be calling. So poor Bollocks has just got an Irish number, as he said to himself. Well spotted, sir. And now he's got Carmen telling him he loves himself.
Oh God. So he's going to know that was you.
Oh, so you called him as well, Aideen?
I think I accidentally called, the guy that Carmen was supposed to call.
So that's my ex-boyfriend, Danny.
Oh no.
And that's probably
more time in your whole relationship.
That's probably so creepy. I really don't want him to know that this has come back to me, that I've got like 2 friends to call him, because like we don't really speak, and it's like I'm now just like that's like the most I've heard from him in like a year. That's the most words I've heard from him in a year. But I was surprised he was so aggressive with you, Aideen, and so nice with Carmen. I suppose he's kind of used to it.
What can I say? It's just the strip.
But you know, Carmen was much nicer. Carmen, you had charm. When you started to speak, I thought I should learn lessons from you. You were so nice and confident. I was like a grandmother coming in with my, I just love you so much. Whereas you said it like, yeah, of course, yeah, and that you talked about being open with your emotions as well. Yeah,
yeah, oh very good. I thought he would be more receptive because he's sort of quite hippie, but he sounded like really like aggressive. I hope he's okay anyway. Hopefully he never finds out about this. But yeah, that like makes sense because when he mentioned the Irish number.
Yeah, because I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
He was probably
Well,
depressed,
there
and he
you
probably
go.
thought it was one of his cousins from Ireland, and he was like, "Oh, these are Antibes. You know, what do you want? Money, is it?"
Yeah. Oh, there she's gone.
Aideen's
Um,
gone.
Well, we're gonna round up the show. What did
Do the
you?
quiz.
Oh, well, the quiz. Okay, we'll do the quiz. What, with one person?
Well, Aideen, is Aideen coming back?
I don't know. But we've only got 5 minutes left
You
anyway.
can ask me the quiz because I didn't actually read the answers.
Okay, right. No, of course. Okay, so this is a quiz about sex work and so on. So, true or false? The STIs are 20% higher in the sex worker community.
I think that's false because sex workers get tested way more often.
Yes, in fact, you're right. The sex worker community have less STIs than the average people. So that's a fact I learned on
I'm not
some myth busting site. What percentage of men in the UK have paid for sex?
I think maybe I read a stat about this recently, but I can't remember what it was. 10%?
Very good. It's 11%. Well done. Now I've got 2 facts about Ireland and England here.
Okay.
Out of every 10,000 people, how many people have sold sex? So in Ireland, how many in 10,000 have sold? Would have said this is an estimate of would have sold sex in Ireland?
50?
2.
2? Okay.
2. And in England?
Higher. I would say that's more like 50 then.
11.
Okay.
Yes, and that is the end of the sex worker quiz. Well done.
Cool. Did I win? What did I win?
You win a ticket to next week's show.
Great. I can't wait.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, we're going to sum up. Sorry tonight about all the technical issues. But we're rounding up the show. What did you learn from this week's show, Aideen? Carmen,
I'm
anything
here,
that
guys.
you learned from the show?
Sorry, I'm in Cornwall.
I learned that Cornwall doesn't have very good internet signal.
I'm backstage.
Yes. I learned that we need to sort out Aideen's technical problems. It's been lovely having you on the show.
I'm here. Sorry about that.
And, Aideen, we're summing up. It's going to end now, so all you need to do is say goodbye. See you later, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Tune in next week.
Sorry, I apologise sincerely. I will never go to Cornwall again.